Good morning and welcome to BBC News Total, where we get a lot of more recent news. Former Network Rail Director Mr. Jack Cresley has taken on the role of the railway historian as well as the Topham Hatt's second in command, along with other news related to the island. But we begin with the news of 4002 Evening Star. The Great Western Star has just made her appearance on the island known to the world, and, as it turns, she's quite the capable engine, and she's very friendly to those who actually meet her. The NWR has actually stated they will be using her on express runs, and they have bigger plans for her in the future. It's not clear what they are, but they are still working out the details as time goes on. The main member of the GWR 4000 class, better known as the Stools, has been in active service since 1907, and has actually been touring the railway ever since then in 1964. She's actually been built that year and was outshot at Swindon and has been working on express trains primarily on the Great Western Railway and the Western region of British Railways. She had taken her far in afield such as Cardiff, Swansea, Kingswear, Penzance, Cornwall, as well as Plymouth on her trains. She's also been known to taking local trains on the GWR and is acting as a relief engine to any engine that is broken down. She's primarily also known as a royal engine, being known for taking such royal members of state, which include King Charles III, the late Queen Elizabeth II, Princess Diana, Anna, and Prince William and Kate Middleton, along with Harry and Meghan. The engine has been owned by Tyldesley, and Sir Topham Hatt has actually said, "We are glad to have her on the railway, and she's great to be a really useful engine in our fleets," in a statement to the BBC. The engine will be actually in active express service very soon, and we will be reporting on her progress as well, throughout the news, and through our current updates with her on the GWR Star Classes social media page on Instagram and Twitter. BBC Zodo will be keeping you updated on such of these events, as well as current updates regarding the locomotive and her current state, being on the NWR, or as of this moment on the air. We would like to wish her a very warm welcome to Zodo, and hope she has many good runs, as well as being one of a really useful... You can come in. Jack. Sorry, I was busy with one of the engines at the works. It seems to be a bit of a complicated information. But I began to hear what about Evening Star on the BBC. Her story is actually starting to make front page news. I know, sir. She's actually been on every newspaper and every headline of every news broadcaster. Channel 4, Channel 5, BBC, even ITV. She's actually starting to become somewhat of a celebrity here. That's weird. She's always been a low-profile celebrity. I would have to agree with you on that. She has actually been mostly known for actually being with the Queen and the royal family themselves when she was working on the other railway. But the biggest question I have, why would she actually be willing to go out into the public at this moment? Like, right now. It's kind of unusual for her. I know, but she does actually get a chance to run like she did back in the days of steam, sir. But due to her arrival, I believe it's actually the reason that the news of her has actually gotten around, even on the BBC. I guess so, but this is actually something because most of my engines are actually well famous here. Question is, why her out of all the engines that have actually worked on the mainland for years, and now she gets a home right here on the mainland? She's definitely an engine that's known for actually being the most reliable express engine, and her duties have actually taken her far in afield from her home. Yes, I actually get it. She's sort of like Gordon. Well, about some years older than him. But she's definitely a reliable performer that he would be on the Express. Well, that's mostly true about this point, sir. But Gordon has actually been the main express engine, and he's actually more popular because of the books as well as the television series that are mostly based on Thomas and all his friends here. Well, all my engines are actually famous for one reason or another, but I guess suppose, well, your father actually did create one of the most brilliant locomotive designs for Gordon. It was just a simple change of motor power back in the day, sir. But the Pacifics were actually one of his best designs that he actually was able to get for the East Coast Main Line. But I'm actually glad that his legacy is with us. I would have to agree with you on that. Both of our fathers should be proud of us. Definitely, sir. But Evening Star has gained a lot on the Express. And Gordon has a long road ahead to recover. Evening Star got straight to work in the yard. She would eventually be proud by collecting trucks and sorting them out. They soon tried to play some tricks, but they soon learned not to mess with her. She shunted them around. She also sent the coaches around to pick up the passengers, as well as also them into the station. The coaches didn't mind, saying that she was quite a gentle engine when it came to actually working, as well as arranging the train. I didn't know she could actually do something like this in the yacht. Shunting trucks and arranging trains like all the other engines would. She's doing it without complaint better than we did back then. Aye, this would definitely make Gordon very jealous about this. The engines and Sir Topham Hatt were quite impressed by her work. And of course, less easy, since she would actually get a break from taking expresses sometimes. These would be including long heavy goods trains to the other railway, as well as to the main line. Also get a chance to starting trains on the main line as a way to slow down and take their time when it came to taking passengers to and from the stations, stopping at all the places and meeting with new friends along the way. On the Little Western, Duncan Oliver met a little Charles Daly. Oh, news is actually going really good about the Evening Star actually working on the railway, Doc. That's what I've been hearing from the big engines all the way at the big station. Oh, I have actually talked with her a few times. She's quite a glamorous engine. It's quite surprising. Last time I saw her was before I left for Solo. I didn't actually think she'd actually be preserved. I thought all the stars were actually withdrawn from service. That is actually true, Duke. Apart from below to the National Railway Museum, Thomas actually said that he's quite a lovely chap. I actually heard it from him when he actually got back from the National Railway Museum back in 1991. Since he was actually visiting there for the rail fest there. He has actually said a lot about them. But look, I'm actually surprised about him. Well, not to mention we have some new builds on the mainland that is actually working on our railway. I actually have seen a lot of them. As have I when I was working back on the Great Western Railway, when they always raced through the junction station where I worked on the branch line in Cornwall. So did I when I worked in London. That is quite an amazing new story. My driver's actually been reading up on her more recently, especially since she's actually been on the GWR, and her tours have actually gotten her some amount of publicity. Is the Royal, as well as also being there on several trips. Cornwall, Devon, Midlands, the North, Scotland even. Scotland? I didn't actually think she'd actually gone that way. Well, she must have actually done it sometime during her career. She's even actually made appearances at rail events. Quite surprising. And for a low-profile celebrity that she is, especially for an express engine of her standard, well, I have to admit, it is possibly true, Oliver. Even the older coaches actually have seen her. That's what we actually agreed, Doc. Same with us, Oliver. I never thought she'd actually be in service still, because I actually saw her on her last day in service back in 1957. She raced through my small station on her return run to London, but that was it. That was the last time I actually saw her. Well, apart from her stopping there earlier on the trip when she went to Penzance. Well, she is back, and she is still in service. Quite surprising. She's actually been in service for years on the mainland. She's sort of a living legend over there. I don't understand with all the recent news about her. It's not like she's actually planning to establish a new home on the road. Well, Ticey have actually said that they're willing to have her come to the railway, and she's still under their care with them. So Sir Topham is letting them work on the railway as well. And don't worry, she's definitely not going to be replacing Gordon on the Express. Though I don't know what Sir Topham's plans are going to be once Gordon comes out of the works, but I would have to say it's probably going to be more hopeful than what we first thought. I suppose so, but do you want to know anything about her? She's quite possibly one of the more popular express engines that we knew back on the Great Western Railway during our time. But she is very friendly and kind. I get a sense that she has the wisdom of Everett and the kindness of the others. Not to mention, she's very wise and very powerful. At least, like she's a Wizard of Oz. She's remarkable. Remarkable indeed. I'd actually be surprised if she and Gordon would get along as express engines due to their history when he comes back. But who knows? Only time can tell. I'm looking forward to seeing her in action on the Express. As for Gordon, Oliver agreed, and he puffed away with Alice and Mirabelle's all stuck for this train for the big station.